the fixture score. Donate, and any of your donations will go to future Brood War events. If you want to just donate because I cast so darn much, that's appreciated too. I am casting today. I will be casting KCM Legend Matches Week 2, where you can watch replays and ask questions. We will take the time to look through those on Thursday. And then on Saturday and Sunday, I will be casting the Africa team battles for the ASL. And of course, V1 versus Big Fan is going to be a best of 5 featured match in week 8 of Fight Club. And on top of that, I have one more big thing. Oh, yes. I am planning on an Elegant and Sale trio cast once we reach week 10. So get that mile marker, and we'll be switching over to Africa TV cast in week 10. We're also going to be doing an earlier cast so we can get both those mates on. And so if you want to have that cast, donate to show some love. All right, here we go. I've got game number 3. Excuse my coughing. Circuit breaker on the way. I just love Non's face. The portrait I picked for that, it's terrifying yet like intriguing at the same time, which is like a great description for almost every relationship I've ever had besides my current wife. Terrifying yet intriguing. I think we've all had girls like that in our lives, or boys, for you fellow lady viewers out there. I'm sure there's a couple of you. Tons of female Brood War fans in Korea, and I'm sure international ones exist too. Alright, Circuit Breaker, game number 3. A pick by Non. A very, very bold pick by Non, by the way. Because I think that Bonyth will go straight for carriers again. Now, we have Non spotting at the top right-hand corner, and Bonyth spotting down at the bottom right. We've seen a lot of Terran domination, though, too. If you didn't watch the last Africa Star League team battle of Last versus Bisu in the Ace match, Bisu was playing. No, was that on Fighting Spirit? No, that was on Broken Spirit. Never mind. They played the Ace match on that one. Oh my goodness. Bisu versus C though. He they have the best matchups in terms of PvT on this map. If you ever catch them on stream and you see that they're playing each other on this map, expect tons of recalls, a lot of fun. It usually takes up the entire map. Well, let's go ahead and set this network to extra high latency because that's the thing that we do. Alright, meanwhile, I'm expecting a gas to follow up right behind this. And the gas, it's gonna get taken. Yeah, there we go. I thought he had the 100 minerals quicker, but I did click away a little bit quicker. So we're gonna see this this 2-fact build again, I believe. But more common would be fake double. And so it's gonna be three SCVs and a pull to just down to 2 SCVs with an expansion and siege mode. So I think fake double is really gonna be the way to go because this is a longer distance by ground. And even though it's not cross spawn, I still believe that Non needs to be more conservative and more economically inclined. That's a good word for it. And more economically inclined. So this probe is going to go ahead and scout the furthest distance possible. And maybe if he sees that there is no base up here to the top left, that he'll make a zealot right away. But right now, Bonyth really wants to save all the minerals and go for just Dragoon. And so Dragoon is really the best. I actually am very anti-Zealot, unless you're going to do something like Bonyth did in the first game, where you build your gateway out at the natural expansion. So now he's eliminated the furthest base. He sees the SCV coming in this direction. And is he going to scout top right or bottom left? He's going bottom left, so he didn't see the way the SCV kind of sailed its way across the bridge into that base. And what's funny is that he's going to also chase down to the bottom left instead of going back across the map because he did not follow the probe to see where the probe was going to go. All right, the first Dragoon comes out, going to head top right. The range upgrade on the way, and it's too early to tell any more detail from Bonyth of exactly what he's going to do this game. You know, a lot of really good Protoss players try to be more reactionary in their PvT in their early game. They can have an idea of, I'm going to go carriers or I'm going to go arbiters, but how am I going to get there depends on how my Terran opponent is going to play. Let's look here. You see how there's this delay between these SCVs coming out? There's only 2 SCVs on this refinery. So this is going to be that fake double build, as the additional command center is going to come out soon. Now, faster vultures with spider mines. Does anybody else think that this is a good idea? Because faster vultures with spider mines, while it can be aggressive and maybe apply some pressure on the offensive front, because this will beat the observer timing, it doesn't really help you secure your natural base, especially if Bonyth decided to get 5 Dragoons and do 5 Dragoon pressure on top of this natural. You really need to have a siege tank here to hold the... actually, you probably need a siege tank on the lower ground with supply depot at the front to really hold down this natural base more effectively. So this Dragoon is going to run away. Really no point in trying to take that battle. Even if you can hit one Marine at a time, the chances of you taking damage is pretty high. So Bonyth is only going to do this if he has 2 Dragoons. But it's important that he counts the Marine count, sees that there's 7 Marines, that the vultures, actually this vulture coming out with the spider mines are going to lay out defensive mines right away. And this Dragoon sees it. The Dragoon actually sees that spider mine as it goes down, so Bonyth has good vision that this is mine first. And I wonder how quickly he's going to start getting that observatory, because it's going to be really, really important that he doesn't lose the spider mines because of the lack of detection. The command center is going to be an obvious follow-up here. The thrusters coming down for those vultures. And then a starport. Wow. Okay, so this is where I was wondering why we weren't seeing tanks. Why this wasn't going to be more tanky. And the whole reason why we're not seeing this heavy tanky build is because this is going to be a starport play first. And the starport is going to be primarily for this dropship. So the dropship is going to drop in 4 speedy vultures with spider mines, which will allow a lot of damage as long as there's not going to be any defenses here. So the Dragoons are really going to be sitting out here at the front. This dropship will take a little bit, but by the time it gets here, it should be able to run in. I'm thinking 6 to 8 kills at least would be the number that Non is going to be aiming for to think that his drop has been rather successful. So the follow-up second factory is going to be on the way. This Dragoon count is getting super high. So remember I said 5 Dragoons can add a significant amount of pressure once they move out on the map. 8 Dragoons is actually quite a solid number of early defense that we're seeing. And Bonyth probably wants to defend at the other side of this bridge. While it would be nice if he could take the fight on this end, retreating across the bridge is really tough. So he's not going to engage there. Oh! Oh, the dropship. Did he drop in the vultures? Yeah, the vultures came in here already. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that the dropship was going to head directly towards the south. The probes did get pulled. I'm fully sorry, but these vultures are doing a great job. Let's see how many kills they got so far. 2 kills, 2 kills. We see that 8 probe kills in total have been taken out, and the spider mines are going to slow the Dragoons down from getting towards the south. And he's actually trying to get this robotic support bay before the speed upgrade is done for a shuttle. Meanwhile, there's a pressure at the front, so the Reaver is out here to try and kill off these Marines. So much damage is being done. Bonyth kills off everything at the front. Meanwhile, he is so close to losing his robotic support bay. These vultures do so little damage to buildings, it's almost an embarrassment to their kind. But they managed to pick off another probe. Still, the SCV count is behind. He has to make use of that extra command center and start working that SCV count. He's got to focus on his macro. It's going to be really important. He's behind on a gas here too. And the advantage, despite the fact that we saw 8 probes go down. If we saw 8 probes go down, I'm sorry, just read chat, it's cracking me up. Alright, and we're going to see that Bonyth is still in the lead. He's got a pretty good position, and honestly, he could take a third if he knew the economical position that Non was in. The Reaver, right away. There is a Wraith to actually pick up the shuttle. Remember last game I was talking about this Wraith being an issue? Now the Reaver might be able to get some damage. So many SCVs. Down for 26. He managed to get 3. 2 now. Okay, so down to 22. So it's some decent kills. The Reaver does get picked off. The shuttle is down. Or is the shuttle down? Oh my god. Okay, so it snuck away. It is down now. Everything is back to normal. but the SCV count is at 25. Oh god, I hate you, Bonyth. You're so good. You are all over the place. You can just respond to that drop attack so quickly. You know, the problem with fast gameplay, like maybe TVTs are my bread and butter because I like to talk about things, but there's no way to actually talk about anything in particular without there being a constant change in the game. I mean, Jesus, these players are really amping it up. I'm loving the high level play that we're seeing. And okay, getting the upgrade on the Observer. 2 more gateways going to be dropped down. Another Reaver is going to be coming out. Behind this, Vultures are spider mining up this third base. So this third base was the critical carrier base that I'm sure eventually we will see if carriers are going to become a thing. Look at this. Behind it, the pylon. The pylon comes over here, not just a scouting pylon, but it's going to be... oh, here comes the dropship. No more chances to rant. As the Vultures do run in here, they should get a few kills. Remember, the count's at 44, so let's see how many it can drop down to while the Protest Army is not responding that quickly. This is some pretty good kills. So far, 7 Prots have been killed off, and I like this. Remember I said 6 to 8, hitting that sweet spot of 8 probes in that run by with the 3 Vultures. That was just enough what Non needed. Behind this, he's got 34 SCVs, so he just evened up the work count. My biggest concern is that there's not an extra gas taken yet. How does he not have this extra gas? Because he's actually going for a very aggressive expansion. You know, this is going to lead to a lot of Vultures. I think a huge amount of Vultures should be built out of these 2 buildings. But first, Non is going to try and get the tank count that he can off of this 1 base gas, since a huge defense is going to be needed. While how many Dragoons do we have? 10 Dragoons. Just try and control the playing field. 10 Dragoons plus a Reaver's Zealot combo. And taking the high ground, Bonyth is putting himself in a great position to really apply some pressure. Oh, that race should go down quickly. And it does. These tanks have the vision with the engineering bay in a really good spot. Meanwhile, this Reaver, the Reaver can do a ton of damage if it gets landed in a good spot. The shuttle's looking for it. The turret is going to back it off. So Non's got every position covered. Actually, a lot of damage coming down in that shuttle. All the shields have been taken out. And while this command center has been lifted away, Non is playing a brilliant game of defense. And he has another Wraith out here to deal with the shuttle. Oh, well, mamma mia, I love you, Non. Thank you so much for building that Wraith to deal with this. Remember, this Reaver pressure is so much more weaker now because he's got the turret, he's got the Wraith, and he's got Terran under control. This is the defensive capabilities that Terrans should be exhibiting in every game if they want to be able to defeat a Protoss player at the level of Bonyth. So 6 gateways. 6 gateways, they're not producing heavy. Why? Because carriers are on the way. Gotta get that interceptor upgrade. Of course, that's going to be really important. The fleet beacon, I thought, would have been hidden over here. Sometimes players like to separate the tech from a single scan. But with 2 gates, there's going to be so much carriers very shortly in this game. If Bonyth gets up to 7 carriers, that's where I think he wins again. Because Non was unable to micro very effectively against those 7 carriers. Meanwhile, he's got to get up to 8, if not 10 factories off 3 bases. Really, what Non needs to think is 7 factories, get a 4th command center, and then get up to 10 factories inside that base and have a really strong upper right half. As long as he can continue to turtle up strongly against this Protoss force, then he can work his way to 2-2 and start ravaging the map. Once he has that effective timing. Remember, 2-2 has been proven so strong. The Terran versus Protoss matchup. This Observer is getting all the wonderful information. Remember, it does have speed and range, I believe. So, these Zealots don't have speed on them. They do not have the Nike upgrade. And it's going to take them just a little bit longer to be effective. Let's see if that is coming down. +1 is about to finish. So +1 on 2 carriers at the start. Very important. A photon cannon being built. I guess that's just a precautionary cannon to make sure that drop play isn't going to be a problem. These cannons, while they don't kill off Vultures very quickly, they are nice because you can pull probes and you have a static defensive building that will eventually clear out those Vultures. Now, Bonyth is noticing that there's still no fourth base, and Terran needs to be 3 gas strong to take him on in the late game, especially with a double armory upgrades. We can see, is this the first +1? Yeah, so +1 will be on the way. I imagine that a science facility should be a nice follow-up here too, so he can get +2 very quickly afterward. Bonyth has been very, very passive at this point. 15 Dragoons. I think that at this point, if you're a Terran player and you've been playing against Bonyth, who has shown you constant aggression when he feels like it's time for when he's not making carriers, then you know that as soon as he stops attacking, that it is going to be this delay for his air armada to start being very, very effective. 2 carriers, I imagine 2 should be finishing up. Yes, they're on the later stages of that production cycle. Meanwhile, this is great for Bonyth because he knows that Non is being non-aggressive, and he is not going to be able to take down this Nexus. So a 4th base for Bonyth makes him even scarier, and even a 5th base for Bonyth can really happen. This starts to make you question TVP, because it seems like Protoss players can't defeat a Terran player once they hit a certain level in their game, a certain number of bases, a certain number of upgrades. But Bonyth is saying that carriers really are a solution on the majority of these maps. That off a 3-base carrier play, you can really just kind of destroy any combination and scenario that the Terran player is throwing at. So +1 armor. We can see that +1 is about to finish. It's just creeping its way towards the end. 4th base now is about to be completed for Non, as both players are matching themselves in expansion, and we could be looking at a really long game, guys. A really, really long one, as these players battle for maybe split map. I like this. So a hidden expansion from Non, as he does attempt to get himself more ahead. And remember what I said about 7 factories and expand? Non is doing just that. So this is awesome. He gets to 7 factories. He has the ability to knock down production, which is important first. And then he puts down this 4th base, and then 3 factories will follow on top of a science facility, which will allow him to be super effective. This Wraith just blends in. Wraith is like air camo for flying barracks. Just an important thing to point out there. Not only do I have color blindness issues, but look, the Wraith is completely blended in with this building now. Nah, I'm just kidding, psyching it out. I'm sure that Wraith just floated off somewhere else. Meanwhile, 4 carriers and the 5 and 6. So this is the point where Bonyth wants to push out. So he's got those 2 Reavers, and he noticed that the 2 Reavers were really effective in the last game. The change up that Non, being such an A-ranked player, realized is he's going to... Oh my god, that's scanned too! So he knows that the shuttle is out there. He's going to try and position his Wraith to engage on this army quickly. But he knows that this move out, with whatever map hack game sense that Non has, he knows that he is expecting this force. Actually, I think the Spider Mines gave away the Protoss army, and that's why he scanned, just to try and get a full view. And Bonyth actually immediately killed off those Spider Mines, knowing that he was revealed in such a manner. So these tanks are going to be at a distance. The tanks actually make it hard for these Goliaths to engage, which is tough. You really have to gauge between where do my tanks need to be, and also a way that can allow the Goliaths to engage against these carriers effectively. Okay, this is going to be an important unit, this Wraith. The Reavers are hidden under here, but you can see there's initial damage on this one Reaver as it tries to pop some shots down to the low ground. It's stranded here. A Goliath can actually run in here and kill off the Reaver defense. But still, we're seeing that these carriers, the micro, Bonyth is going to try and handle himself as much as he can on this high ground. This high ground location is such a strong positional play for Protoss at any circuit breaker PvT. You really always want to try and control this field because it allows you to take advantage of hitting tank shots while also avoiding tank shots. That sounded terrible. You can hit your tanks very effectively from the high ground with Dragoon range while allowing your carriers to really try and mow down these Goliaths. The Goliaths have a lot of good surface area now, and now that they've worked themselves away, the tanks have been rearranged. And do you see this? Do you see this ghost? Oh my goodness. Whoa, where? Okay, we're pausing. because remember what I said, I don't have time to show everything off. So the covert ops is here. There is a ghost out here somewhere, maybe underneath here. So let's go ahead and resume. Lockdown may be an ability that is going to be on the way. We can see right now though, this Wraith is still alive. If only he scanned here, he might have been able to take out that observer. That would be a real good play too. A lot of top Korean Terran players are doing a great job of being proactive with their scans. Meanwhile, oh wow, these interceptors have a great vantage point over here towards the left side. Oh, that Wraith does go down. Very unfortunate. But the Goliaths move over. There's no damage taken on this command center. And still we are seeing continued expansions and great dominating defense from Non. He is playing his heart out in game number 2. If he wins this here, there's confidence for this major upset. He has to win. Being down 3 games is absolutely unacceptable. These interceptors are engaging with tons and tons of damage against these takes. The Zealots are doing extra damage too. +2 attack is proving to be really strong, and the Goliaths are pulled out of position one more time. There's so many Goliaths still. 20 Goliaths. They should be able to clear out at least this initial army. Remember, there are all these additional factories too, but when is the ghost play going to come in here? That ghost that goes down. The ghost dies, unfortunately, and so there are no ghosts available for lockdown. The energy upgrade is being upgraded right away. In fact, maybe Bonyth should see the blinking on this add-on and try and take it down as quickly as possible. But take it out of science facility instead. That's always a nice strong move too. Non, he may have lost this game. This is slipping away. He's got 10 Goliaths behind this. And oh God, Storm! Storm is so strong, comes in here with the shuttle. Then Storm is going to mow down the Goliaths to the left. He's broken the front force. The wall is down, and Terran might not be able to hold on anymore. This is that 7 carrier number. I told you, 7 carriers. If Bonyth gets all 7 and he goes on the aggressive, then he will win this. No matter what, this is his key number, and he can micro them without any flaws. So we're seeing that the Storms are going to clear up the rest of the tinfoil marching down this ramp. And who, if not Non, will be able to kill off Bonyth? Bonyth looking to go up 3 games. He's already won $60 in 2 weeks of Fight Club. A 3rd week looks to be in his hands as he has a 2-0 lead and is very, very close to his 3rd. Oh. Meanwhile, my co-caster, Bonyth, has just joined in. Very important. Oh, she just scoffed at me. She's too good for this PvP. She does not like seeing this death sequence that we are seeing from the Terran player. So anyway, 72 SCVs. But the irony is that there's actually a lot of really good mining from Non. And he's got a lot of SCVs. He's got all these bases here. Actually, the SCVs are not mining. Non is so distracted, unfortunately. But as long as these factories haven't been broken, he can maybe gather up all of his units and mount one final defense. He got a carrier. He got one of the carriers, didn't he? But no, Bonyth is up to 8 carriers. His number is only growing. He's got that additional base at the 3 o'clock now, which is actually mining. And GG! Wow, 22 minutes. Non trying to do the best he can. Turtle-style defense, but Bonyth breaks it one more time. All right, let's go back to some no-name facts and take a breather. Alright, everybody say hello to Bonyth. This is Delilah. And Delilah is a camera hog. She's a prima donna. And she knows when I'm casting and when I'm not. She literally comes in here during my breaks because she knows. She's like, hey, Bonyth, give me some attention. And this is probably the best intermission I've ever had in the middle of Fight Club. But you're so cuddly, you take away the manliness of this event. Duh. Oh, she's so cute. But you know what she's doing? She's letting all of the air conditioning in because she opened the door. She was outside, but now all the air is coming in. And my heating bill is going to be really expensive. Oh, thank you so much. What do you say? What do you say? What do you say? Oh, good girl. Good girl. You're such a camera hog. Way to steal the moment. All right, let me go kick her butt back outside, and then we'll get back into game number 4. Come on, let's go. Oh, right. I live in Florida, but it is going to get down to 30. It is going to get down to 30 degrees today, so don't want all 30 of those degrees inside of my house. No. I like sunshine. I do. All my plants are going to die. I just spent weeks on a garden. All my plants will die tonight. How unfortunate. Okay, enough of the StarCraft moment. His favorite moment is when he actually did a base trade and won with a single Wraith. Well, unfortunately, he could not win with the single Wraith in that last game. Let me go ahead and get the next game set up. Yeah, I'm in North Florida. Like, Jacksonville is practically Georgia. So there's a little bit of cold that comes in. There's a massive blizzard on the east coast of the United States right now. So a lot of cold weather around. Let's see here. Game number 4. Ooh, Sniper Ridge. Another pick by none, of course. And let me go ahead and update this score. Very important that you guys know what the score is. Oh, I'm updating the wrong score. Florida and Australia basically the same. Yeah, Jacksonville has been very pleasantly warm. It has been spring-like